All right, this is Bobby Barnett, certified Skywarn storm spotter here on North Alabama Storm Chase. We are simulcasting from Facebook and to YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, please follow, like, and share, and comment always on our Facebook uh, chat. I've got it set up so if you just tell us where you're watching from. I've also got Top Chat on YouTube set up, and you can chat over there, send us a question, or just say hello. We want you to like, follow us, and share us over on Facebook and YouTube. We're trying to get up 1,000 subscribers. That way we can get our super chats going. Please subscribe. It is free. And give us a thumbs up on any of our content over there on YouTube. But we do like to hear you on Facebook. So comment and we'll get to your questions, or uh, we'll give you a shout out here on Facebook. All right. We're here watching these storms rolling through this afternoon. Right now it is 11:14 a.m. on June 7th, 2025. I'm pleased to have Chris Burns here with us, a fellow Skywarn storm spotter, and he's got a couple of things he wants to go over and a few questions, and we'll get right to them. But what you're seeing on the screen right now is composite reflectivity, and there is a severe thunderstorm watch. I haven't looked at the particulars on it or expiration time, but we will expect some kind of watch issued for North Alabama, Southern Tennessee. As you see this line of strong storms, that tan area polygon there is a special weather statement, and just to the north of that, just north of Corinth, you see a severe thunderstorm warning there. So we expect this line to come through and bring heavy rainfall. So if there's ponding on roadways, please allow yourself ample room between you and the car in front of you and watch that ponding on roadways. And probably going to be a lot of lightning with this system, so a lot of damaging winds. So just be prepared. We've had all day to get that taken care of. So, but we're going to be right here watching it live, and hopefully we can go wall to wall. All right, Chris, what you got for us today?
Well, Bobby, first of all, I'm glad to be here. And I too am a certified storm spotter with Skywarn. And I just want to discuss a few things that often come up every time severe weather's here. And first and foremost, um, I would like for at some point in time we can do another live and get some other people in here like Chris and Mike, because there's a lot of people I'd like to thank, you and Chris and Mike and Candace and several people like that. But what the first question is I'd like to propose to you is, and this is from people that come up to me while we're out storm spotting, is what do you need to do to become a spotter?
Well, the best way to do it is go to the National Weather Service Huntsville website. If you scroll down at the bottom of the screen, you'll see it says Storm Spotters. And normally they have classes in and around different counties. But the best way to do it is they'll have a link there to go online and do an online course, or you can go to met.ed.com, and if you put in Skywarn Storm Spotters in the search bar, it will pull up the two basic tests that you can take online. And by that way, if you do take those tests, and if you send your scores to me, it'll have, when you fill out your information, it'll have supervisor instructor. Uh, you can put my email address in there, Bama BAMA Bob 2006 at yahoo.com, and it'll send your scores to me. So that's the two best ways. I know with a lot of things going on right now, I don't think there's that many courses left within the year, but next year, before severe weather season starts, they'll have a list of counties and that. So you go to National Weather Service in Huntsville, and it'll give you a list of the counties. But the best way to do it online is go to metmet.ed.com, and there's a site there. And if you just in the search bar, like I said, put uh, Skywarn Storm Spotter or instruction or whatever, and it'll pull up the two tests that you take, and you just go through those. And I think they're roughly, let's say, 2 hours in length. It's just questions, but they do have a brief introduction to it, so you can go through all the information, read it, and then they'll test you on that. So just don't go take the test, read through all the material that they've got that will pertain to those test questions, and then you can answer them that way. And then once again, you can send your scores to my email address.
Okay, and what I'd like to add to that is this: the second question that I always get asked when I'm out in the field is, "What does it pay?" It pays zero. So, if you're hoping to make a living doing this, you'll have to find something else. Um, Bobby, if you could, let's talk about the importance of not being interrupted while you're out in the field, and that this is a subject that Christopher Barnes and you and I have talked about several times, and I don't think people are still understanding it. Or, as in my case, I've got relatives, family members that for some reason think they're excluded from that. And, I don't want to be blunt, but at the same time, could you explain why that is so critical?
Well, it is very critical. And just to go to hash on your last point, yeah, we're all broke from doing this, but we have a servant's heart. That's the reason we do it. We could be doing other things. We could, you know, stay at home, watch television, watch Netflix, and all of that. But we go out and put eyes in the sky. That way, we can get the warnings out and let the ham radio operators know what we see. In return, they give that information to the National Weather Service, and in return, they give that to the meteorologists you see on your local television station. So, yeah, it pays zero. It's a lot of us that do this. It's all out of pocket, gas, computers, the whole thing. But once again, we do it not for an ego trip or a pat on the back. We do it because we have a servant's heart for our community. To get to your next point about being interrupted during severe weather chasing, when we're out in the field, we need to have constant eyes in the sky. I mean, because weather will change on you in a blink of an eye. And so, as we would love to answer each and every question or give you specifics on if it's coming down your road or in your county, we just cannot do that. That puts our lives in danger. Um, what we want you to do is to adhere to the information that we're giving you, and then you take those necessary steps to take action based on that information that we provide you when we go live and give you that information. That's the reason I always emphasize a lot of people is going to hurt their feelings, but it's true. Um, know where you live. It's amazing how many people live in North Alabama, Southern Tennessee, do not know what county they live in. That shocks me. Um, I'm not good at geography, but I know what county I live in. I know the surrounding counties that I live in. So, just for instance, if you live in Madison County, we have storms like you see on the screen here that's coming from the east, and you live in Limestone County, which is to the left of me, you know that they're going to be there first. Okay. So if we say there's a tornado watch for North Alabama, Southern Tennessee, and it includes these counties, Lauderdale, Limestone, Madison, Jackson County, you know you're within that tornado watch. If there's a severe thunderstorm warning and we say it's in Lauderdale County and it's moving east, guess what county it's going to hit? It's going to hit Limestone County. So it's very pertinent that you know what county you live in, also the counties around you. Then know what direction that storm or that line of storms is moving in, and it'll give you the correct information that it's coming in your direction, and you can take action. So, but when we're out in the field, we as once again, we'd love to answer each and everybody's questions and give you a personal weather forecast. We just cannot do that. Uh, that takes away from everybody else. All right. So that we don't mean to be blunt about it, but it's just it saves our lives and it'll save your life if you just listen to the information we give you. We're not going to twist it or turn it to benefit us. We're going to give you the correct information as given from the National Weather Service or Storm Prediction Center. So if you want to ask questions before storms hit, feel free to do it. But when we're under tornado watch, severe thunderstorm watch, uh, let it be known we're activated and we need to adhere to everybody, not just on a personal basis.
All right, Bobby, and let me go on down the line here. I only have a few more things left, but
Okay.
just like this morning, until recently, I hadn't really taken a subject serious, but if you don't mind touching on that real quickly, is severe weather anxiety seems to be a real thing, and I wasn't aware of that until here recently. Just like this morning, I've had some acquaintances and old high school friends that hit me up right off the bat and said, "What is the weather going to be like today?" So, could you touch on what the weather's going to do today, and also verify or reiterate, if you will, that we do not do forecasting on our own and who we do that through?
Yeah. Well, first of all, our site and both of our pages, Storm Spotters of North Alabama and my page, North Alabama Storm Chase, I put only out what National Weather Service puts out, Storm Prediction Center, National Hurricane Center. I might use a few of the local meteorologist information. I might use other apps like WeatherBug, but I use WSV3, Radar Omega. I also use Radar Scope, and there's a few other simple apps that I use, but everything comes from a reliable source. It's nothing that we make up, nothing that we determine. Uh, it's not about us, it's about you. That's the reason we only put out reliable information from reliable sources. Um, what was the other part of the question? I'm sorry, I'm trying to run through stuff through my head.
That's okay. If you don't mind, just reiterate what's been said already by the National Weather Service about today, maybe the times that we're going to be hit. And I do know I will share this with you. Some of our local meteorologists have said that we will encounter damaging winds possibly. And also that when we repeat what we have been told, we're not trying to give panic out or cause panic or anything like that. But if you don't mind, just let them know what the weather's going to do and when it's going to start doing it today.
Yeah. Everybody's in North Alabama, Southern Tennessee, basically all in the South has weather anxiety. We know that. I know people are scared of storms. Believe it or not, I'm scared of them. If I wasn't scared of them, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing because I know how dangerous they are. But I have the knowledge of knowing where I need to be to get away from it. Um, National Weather Service has put us under an enhanced risk for severe storms. A lot of these other sites, you'll see the graphics, the storm of the century, and it's the end of the world type scenario. It's not that if you be prepared. I'll give you the information, Storm Spotters in North Alabama, and there's some good reliable sites that put out good information. Know what you're looking at, research it. Okay, it's the best thing I can tell you. But we are under enhanced risk for strong to severe storms, and that includes damaging straight line winds, heavy rainfall, which leads to flooding, lightning. So if you're outdoors, please get inside. And even though the tornado threat is low, it's still not zero. We are in an environment. If you have been outside, me and Chris, before we went live, we talked about how muggy it is. He's outside doing his live broadcast. It is very muggy. Well, if you're watching the screen right now, you see that we've got a strong line of showers and thunderstorms moving in. There could be some embedded brief spin ups within that line. I see that we've already got a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings, and it's fixing to get right into Corinth, Mississippi. So once again, Lauderdale County, Limestone County, Madison County, Jackson County, and all those counties further to the south, and even the counties up into southern Tennessee, be prepared now. All right, know where your safe place is. Be sure to protect your head. Make sure you got helmets in your safe place. Make sure you have an emergency kit with you. Make sure if you have to take shelter, if you've got a basement, get there. If you don't have a basement or a storm cellar, get into the most interior room of your home without windows, cover your head, and protect yourself. If you stay prepared now, when the storms come through, you'll be okay. But we are under an enhanced risk for severe thunderstorms, and I expect here within the next, I'd say, if not here in the next few minutes, within the next 15 minutes, they'll probably place us under a severe thunderstorm watch, if I'm not mistaken.
And Bobby, while you're on that, if you don't mind, and again, I want to make this as I want to clarify as much as we can. Could you go ahead and explain the difference between a watch and a warning? I just had that question asked to me about 2 days ago.
All right. I usually do presentations, and I know a lot of other meteorologists, they do it in a funny way, but I use the taco watch and taco warning. Okay, most people use cake as that's how you decipher what a watch and warning is. If you have your hamburger meat, your lettuce, your tomatoes, your cheese, your taco shells, and they're not put together, you've got all the ingredients to make a taco, right? All right. That means if we have a tornado watch, all the conditions are right. We have all the ingredients for a tornado, but it's not a tornado yet. All right. If we have everything put together, if we cook the hamburger meat, we cut up all the lettuce, the tomatoes, the cheese, we get everything put together and we put it in that shell, consider that a taco warning. We have tacos now we can eat. All right. Same thing with a cake. You can have flour, eggs, milk, everything to make a cake. All right. But until all those ingredients come together, it's not a cake. So that's how you decipher between a watch and a warning. A watch means that the environment has all the ingredients for a tornado, but they have not come together yet. A warning means that there is a tornado warning or a tornado, and it's imminent, and it's either been radar indicated or it's been observed by a trained spotter or an EMA person. That's the funny way of putting it. But if you're like me, I like to compare things to food.
That's a good comparison. One last thing, Bobby, I'd like to talk to the viewers about on your page as well as our page is send in your weather pics or any kind of pics that have something to do with nature and weather, and we will give you credit for it. There's a disclaimer on the Skywarn Storm Spotters of North Alabama page, and it basically is just the legalities covered. But we don't mind giving you credit for it, and that way we can get some more traffic onto the page, and it helps us, both pages out. The more traffic we get, the better off we are. But anyway, like I said, Bobby, I appreciate you doing this for us this morning, and I want to do another one where we can bring in some other figureheads in on both pages. And I appreciate you taking time to do this. And if there's anything else that you can think of, to let me know that I can help you out with. And like you said, it's a servant's heart. We're doing this because we care about the community, and as I go out, I would like to tell you that I began my keen interest in weather, natural disasters, things like that. When I was a little kid, I was fortunate enough to be able to drive up the coast just after Hurricane Camille had come ashore. And if that tells you how old I am, but that was in 1969. And then just 5 years later, a night that all the Alabamians and Southern Tennessee people will know is April 3rd, 1974. So that's how my interest got piqued. If you don't mind, tell us a little bit about how your interest got piqued, and then I'll shut up and get out of here.
My interest got piqued when you spoke of April 3rd, 1974. I was maybe eight, fixing to be, I might have been 9 years old. I'm not a good mathematician, but I was a young lad. And I remember my dad, I lived in Huntsville off of Holmes Avenue. And I remember dad taking me out on the front porch, and I seen the funnel cloud come over where, if remember, people my age remember where Butler High School was. There's a hill right there, and it sets there. Well, I seen the funnel cloud come over, and when it did, it come over our house. It wasn't on the ground, but it's the one that hit the old glass building that used to be Bob Tab Cadillac, and it went up through that way up where Parkway Place Mall is, and up that area. And I said, that just, I was excited about it. I've never seen nothing like that as a young child. And then I was working on Redstone Arsenal on, I believe it was November 15th, 1989, the Airport Road
Yep.
tornado. And me and a buddy of mine went down there, and I just seen the devastation. And that really said, you know something, I need to get into this and start warning people somehow, some way. I need to get the information out there. So that's how, basically, right after that is when I started. And so I've been doing this a long time. But I remember that night as that tornado come through Airport Road and went further out. I remember how cold it got, and it started snowing. And I said, "This is crazy." It was warm that afternoon, and then all of a sudden, that's how strong that cold front was.
Yes.
And of course, we cannot really forget, you know, 2011 April. 26th and 27th for most of the Southeast, how bad it was, that generational outbreak, and I was right in the midst of it. So, yeah, those are the three events I remember well. But like I said, when I was a young boy, I remember that really piqued my interest. It's grown tremendously with technology and everything that I can use to get that information out there. So, yeah, I've got a comment here. Sam Black says, "Can you please put all the info for storm spotting classes somewhere? I'm not able to write it down right now." I will post the Met Ed link on my page, Sam. So look for that, or if I can pull you up on my viewers, I will send it to you. But I'll put all that information up on my page as soon as we get finished with
And my
this live broadcast.
my last thing, Bobby, is this. I'm doing to explain. I had someone private message me the other day and said, I noticed you post some pictures of tornadoes out west. Uh, Let me just let you guys know when we are not spotting here because we have to, we stay in constant practice. As Bobby said earlier, I have WSV3, I have Radar Omega, I have Radar Scope, and I'm constantly looking at weather across the continental 48 because I want to learn more. And you can always learn something from someone. But somebody asked me the other day, why do you put the descriptions on some of your pictures? Look at this beautiful tornado. Look at this beautiful shelf cloud. Well, you have to understand, when you're a weather nerd, I need you to understand that when I tell you that a tornado is beautiful, if you understood the makeup and what it takes to produce a tornado, that's what I'm referring to. In no way, shape, form, or fashion do any of us take the seriousness, of it and try to diminish that. It's very, very serious, and we know what severe weather can do. We know that lives can be lost. So when we say things like a beautiful funnel or a beautiful song, in no way are we trying to diminish or belittle the seriousness of that situation. So, but anyway, that's all I've got, Bobby, and I sure appreciate, like I said, you doing this for us. I want to say thank you to you, to Christopher Barnes, to Mike Payton, Candace Riddle, several people. And I also want to give a couple of shout outs to some people that really have supported our page. Kim Laney, she's a schoolmate of mine back in the day. Larry Manor, he contributes stuff, and I really appreciate him. And like I said, if there's anything that you see that we can do to help better the community, please let us know.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll compare, uh, like you said, Chris, tornadoes are beautiful in some aspect, but they're dangerous as well. I compare that to my wife. She's beautiful, but she can be
I'm not
dangerous.
going there.
No, she knows. She would tell me. That's I promise you.
Yeah. But thank you to
But once
everybody.
again,
Yeah.
yeah, thanks to everybody. We can't forget Taryn and all those other ones that you know have that servant's heart to get out and do it. Josh Marsh, Taryn. We got Jonathan O'Rear, that's ham radio operator.
Yes.
Like we got Chris Burns, you see on the screen. Chris Barnes, Mike Payton, Candace Riddle, April Walker, Steve Smith. I know he gets up there every now and then. I want to give a big shout out to Kenny Duckett. I know he's independent, but
Yes.
he does a lot of storm chasing out there, and I try and correspond with him as much as I can. But it looks like we got a good system fixing to roll in here
Yes.
on us here.
Yes.
It's getting close to the Alabama Mississippi line, so we're going to be watching it. But before we go, I want to emphasize something else. If you have a business that want to sponsor us or sponsor my page, feel free to contact me. You'll find my email address on my page. Contact me, and I'll come out and shoot a free commercial. I've got all the equipment to do that. I've got wireless mics. I've got a Samsung pad. We'll film a commercial completely free for your donation or becoming a sponsor, and that helps us out and gives us that extra money to keep these pages going and keep you advised of any severe weather that's in our area. All right, you got anything else you want to add, Chris?
No, just one last thing. There's also people that say, "Are you Chris Burns or Chris Barnes?" Well, there's two of us. I'm the Burns, and he's the Barnes. So there's two of us: Chris Barnes, Chris Burns.
We're going to let them fight out for thing one and thing two. We'll get them shirts just like the Dr. Seuss. Who wants to be thing one and thing two?
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, if you want to call me for anything, just call me for supper.
That exactly. exactly. Guys,
We're
the
eaters.
last thing I want to say is wherever you go, and Bobby will back me on this. Wherever you go, stay weather aware. Thanks everybody.
Exactly. Especially today.
Yeah,
Y'all keep abreast on what's going on. We're gonna be right here, and if I'm not going live, I will be posting something. I might get out and chase today, so if you don't see me live, please stay tuned to your local TV meteorologist and your radio. And speaking of those meteorologists, before we get off, y'all give them some love.
yes,
I don't care who your favorite is.
yes,
Don't don't put them down. They've they work hard to get you information just like we do. They just have the degree and we don't. But we have the knowledge and we give you the correct information from them. But give them some love and tell them how much you appreciate them,
yes.
whoever your favorite meteorologist is, or all of them. All right, well, we're going to get out of here. I'm going to grab me a bite to eat and keep an eye on the weather, Chris. Appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you, sir.
And Sam Black, I will get that information posted up here shortly for you about the Storm Spotter training classes. All right, this is Bobby with North Alabama Storm Chase, along with Chris Burns, fellow storm spotter here on North Alabama Storm Chase. We're always watching for you, and always give us those stars during our live broadcast. Follow, like, and share, and always comment. And like I said before, we always simulcast on Facebook and YouTube. All right, we're going to be watching the weather. Y'all stay safe. See y'all next time.